So this morning I'm up at the Seminole Ranch WMA. This is right behind the Christmas RV park. You can actually, there's a road right alongside of it that you can pull up and you can park in behind it. Now today I'm going to be kind of careful and kind of quiet because there's a hunt going on, and that kind of freaks me out a little bit because I don't trust people all that much. There are at least two hunters here, two vehicles back here. So the hunt is this weekend. If you need to, I forgot to check, but check the status of the WMAs on the FWC website. So I think we should be fine. I don't think these guys are going to be hunting right here along the path. They'll probably be much further in. But I'm going to be kind of wary. Don't want to make too much noise out of respect for the hunters. I also want to let them kind of know that, I'm here. There's not really a lot of room to stand around the edge of this pond, and casting's pretty tight too. I think the northern side, is a little bit more open. I think the road pushes right up against the shoreline, so I'm going to try to work our way around up there. But hit these little pockets that I find like this. First fish. Just a little guy. Really dark in color. Alright. I feel like in the early part of the year, when we don't get a lot of rain and a lot of the water tables go down, I feel like this might be much more accessible from the shoreline. This will probably recede by another 2-3 feet. Well, not having your glasses makes a huge difference. I can't tell how deep it is. I want to say it's off the edge here, it's maybe 3 to 5 feet, but I'm not 100% sure. So this is really, right here is my first look at how deep this is, and it's pretty deep. It's probably I don't know, I would say probably around 5 feet right off the shoreline here. So this is a fairly deep pond. That'll be a lot more shallow with the way that these plants are sitting on top, but it's deep here. So obviously this is one of those places that I definitely want to come back and fish after I pick up my kayak next month, because I feel like this has the potential to hold some big fish. The water's very deep. Like right here, it's probably 3 feet right off the shoreline. And if that's the case, it is really, you can see that the cat o' nine tails out there are kind of up, so I think the creek feeds in from over here, and then this just kind of pools over here, and I feel like this has the opportunity to hold some really big fish in it. If it's this deep and it's this large, and I think getting out there and fishing along the edges and fishing in the middle, trying to find some structure, would be highly beneficial. I don't know how good this is going to be today. We just had a cool front come through. There's fish were jumping down there in that corner. Haven't seen anything up here on this side. There's parking up here. You can see the road comes all the way up through here. I haven't had any bites except for that one little fish on that Senko. I think this right here is probably the last stop on the way around. You can't fish the other side. It's all marsh over there. Kind of disappointed this didn't turn out better. But there's another pond just up the road at a regional park complex that I want to fish. I was kind of putting that off because I think the pond is only 1 or 2 years old, and if they are 1 or 2 years old, the chances of a big fish being in there are not good. A lot of the... I missed one. A lot of the parks and ponds and stuff that, well, anytime they build a pond, they do stock it, usually with bass, to keep the water clean. I'm gonna put some tilapia and some catfish and stuff in it. It's typical, but the bass and stuff that they put in there are usually anywhere between 5 inches to 12 inches at most, 1.5 pounds, somewhere in there. And it usually typically takes a couple years for those fish to grow up, as long as the pond is getting a lot of heavy pressure. So we're talking, 2 to 3 years, and the pond will start to produce some decent sized fish. 5 years, and then you're catching some big fish. All right, fishing days turned out to be a lot less productive than I was hoping. 1 fish, 3 bites. That one that I just missed there was a pretty decent sized one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way back out around, get down to where this fish were jumping earlier, see if they're sort of kind of held up in that corner, and fish that for a little bit, work my way out of here, and then I'm going to go up to this pond that's at a regional park complex. I think it's the drone racing club meets there, because they've got some open fields, and I'm going to try that pond, see if it's any good. So this pond here is right off of 50, and we're up just to the west of Christmas RV Park and the Seminole Ranch WMA. So we're going to fish this pond the whole way around. This is the complex here. There's soccer. I believe the drone club also meets here. It doesn't say that you can't fish here. It does say, watch out for snakes and stuff. It's typical. So let's see what kind of fish we got in here. I'm going to work the edges here. There's not a lot of structure, like typical ponds, so we're going to work the edges. It's Colbert right here, though. So like I said, my biggest concern with this pond is it's fairly new. I don't think it's it's got to be 2 years old at the most. If that's the case, there may not be anything in here sizable or worth catching, but we might get lucky. It looks pretty healthy. The water is kind of that stained Florida swampish kind of water, and there's plenty of grass line around it. I saw a couple fish kind of freak out when I came up, just little bait fish. So we'll see if there's anything in here worth catching. So here's the deal. I don't know if there's anything in here. Beyond these bait fish that are probably all stocked in maybe a couple catfish and whatnot. But I know there's a pond to the north here. I just don't know if it's accessible from here. But I'm going to try to walk up there and make sure no gates or anything on it. Alright, so this is behind the park, and I'm looking, if you can see it, I want to get to that pond, which, check this out, I didn't know this, but apparently this is the Savage Christmas Creek Preserve. And yeah, we're going to that pond. See if this might salvage my day. 1 fish, 3 bites. Let's see what we got up here. I don't know how much access I'm going to have to this pond. It looks like, I thought this would be all fueled up here, at least according to, Google Maps, but it looks like it's a lot of trees and shrubs. He took the worm right off. Re-rigged. Drag us to loose. Come here. Uh-oh. There we go. Long fish. Perfect hook set, corner of the mouth. Fish number 2. It's no giant, but that tells me there's fish in here that they're hungry. And I think this is probably going to be a good place to fish, simply because there's not a lot of shore access. I don't think this place gets a lot of pressure. I could be wrong, but this might save my day here. I'm about 15 feet away from the shoreline here, so I don't know how this is going to work out. Oh, I came off. Try this again, same spot. It's on and out. Oh, that's a bigger fish. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get him over these weeds. Broke off. Tick Central. He's right there. I gotta get this fish out of here. Shit, my feet are gonna get wet. Almost to save the life of the fish. Oh, and there he goes. And my feet are soaked. Great. Okay, so as a side note, he didn't break off. The hook came out. That fish is probably 2.5 pounds. About yay long. Just didn't want him. I didn't hear him splash and take off, so I figured he might have gotten stuck in the weeds here, and I definitely didn't want him to die. So now I'm gonna have to go home and clean and dry off my shoes now. These are my good shoes too. I don't know why I wore these. I don't recommend trying to lift a fish like that. I was just kind of hoping, I didn't realize how big he was until I tried to lift him. But I don't recommend lifting a fish like that to try to get him up over an edge or anything like that. You end up breaking your rod, your line. And then you'll have to go in after him like I did, because I sure as heck didn't want that fish to die because of a stupid decision I made. I found a road on the other side that was kind of obscured by these things here, but this one's, at least they're kind of keeping this one cut. So this is where I caught that fish that when I first got here. Holy sh! That's a black snake. God, I hope it was. I think fishing here is going to be much more productive and, all intents and purposes, safer when it cools down. I was not expecting that. Good thing, I'm pretty sure it was a black snake. The snake was black. It wasn't very long. It was thin. So I'll take a black snake any day over a water moccasin and a rattlesnake or copperhead. I might have to wait till it cools down a bit before I come back here, just so I know that these animals are in hibernation. It's warmed up quite a bit today, so they're definitely on the move. All right, so I finally found the one spot on the other side that could actually fish, and we have the same issue that we had before, where there's a bunch of weed line before it gets to the water, and obviously the water's up to here. So hopefully we don't run into, an issue where I got to swing the fish. I got one Senko left. It's on right now. Legs are kind of chewed up from the briars and stuff. Not that big of a deal to me. I don't want to. I definitely want to come back here, but after I get the kayak, so I can spend more time actually fishing the pond rather than. He grabbed it as I was pulling it up. Senko's gone too, so. So, these guys I don't think have ever been caught. I don't see any hooks or anything in their mouths. I'll give them a little bit of a toss. Any hook marks or anything, so this might be some sweet kind of virgin territory. But it's definitely, it's going to be hard to fish without water access, so ouch. Briars. Definitely need a kayak. I think I'm going to bring one next time. Not really sure what the regulations are here on that. If they don't have any, or if it's a big no-no. It is a preserve. They don't want you to destroy any wildlife or harass any wildlife. There's obviously no hunting here. So I'll have to go take a look at, there's a hiking trail. It's open to the public, so I'm going to have to go take a look at their website and kind of figure out what the deal is. I'm not really seeing anywhere where I feel confident about getting a good-sized fish over the embankment. So I think that's it. You know, actually didn't turn out to be too bad. Caught one over at the first pond, and then 3 out of here. If you want to count that one that, you know, came off right at the shore and had to go push back in the water. But so it's not too bad. We're up by the Christmas RV park, which is right off of 50. The Seminole WMA is right behind, and there's parking there. They have a hunt going on this weekend. You still have access to it, but any other time you can drive right in around the pond and fish it. There's no fee to get in there. You just have to have your fishing license. And then if you're looking at this place here, this is apparently the Christmas Savage Christmas Preserve. There is a parking lot at the East District, I think it's the East Orange District Park Center up here, and then you just walk back the kind of non-paved road to get back here to this pond. There's also hiking trails. So this is going to do it for me. I'm tired. I'm scared by snakes. I have seen gators. My feet are soaked. Everything that could possibly go wrong kind of went wrong. But, you know, I caught some fish, so I'm okay with it. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.